What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are kicking off another week here, 9 games on a Monday. We have Sutter Health, and we have George Steinbrenner Field all back on the slate. So offense is going to be the name of the game here. Colorado has 7 straight home games, as does the Athletics. They have their home all week. So expect some high totals and some games we're going to be forced into getting some exposure to this week here, James.
Pick the right one. You get a prize, John. You become a thousandaire.
Could be 1,000. That's true. That is true. Got to take down the $15 50K or whatever it is that DraftKings puts down there.
No, you know what? I'm getting back to my roots this week. I feel like I became, I don't know if I was the owner of the 12 single and the 5 single during the NBA season, but I was definitely one of the owners. Yes. I was either CEO, CFO of those contests. I'm doing it again. And
it almost felt like you were winning, like top 5ing once a week.
It did get to a point where I was having 6.
It felt like you during the basketball season, like you were just money once a week, high finish, took it down quite a few times.
I don't know what it was though. It was those, like when I started like steering into like other tournaments, they just the 12 and 5
44 every now and again.
They wanted me back in these other tournaments. So I think I'm just gonna have to park my real estate in these tournaments.
The unfortunate thing that DraftKings has done at times with the $12 single this year is they've reduced the field that gets paid out. We've gone over that where it's like the 12 single today is an 18% payout. Avoid it. You got to go play the 25 single, which is like a 22%.
Yeah.
But maybe with NBA winding down now into their showdown slates with the conference finals, maybe we'll get some more money and some better contests floating over into the MLB slates here. We got a lot to talk about here. Like I said, not only do we have 9 games, we're going to go position by position. We build a lineup at the end of the show. For those of you who are new and tuning in, we appreciate you guys. Welcome. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button to get notified whenever we go live. It is completely free to do. It's a free way to support what we do here. We go live every day at 5 p.m. We do a preview show at night to get you guys ready with our first look takes, which our first look takes here, we got Robbie Ray at $10,000 going up against the Kansas City Royals. Opposite him is Chris Bubich going up against the Giants at 97. Luis Castillo on the road against the White Sox at $9,500. And Sonny Gray is $9K at home against Detroit. On a slate like this, where there's certainly some spots I know you and I had eyed early, do you think spending up for Robbie Ray, knowing we want to get some bats and cores and Sutter Health, can we make it work here with Robbie Ray?
I think so. Dude, he has been, for all that crap we kind of gave him earlier in the year for like the inconsistencies and the inability to throw strikes and really just the inability to like know what he's going to do batter to batter, inning to inning.
I mean, he's been awesome right here at 14 walks.
I'm not saying it wasn't warranted. He deserved it. He was the full-on, I've said it like 4 shows in a row, but he was the full-on Mario Kart N64 item box, right? Yeah. Like you didn't know what you were getting half the time. Most of the time you were just getting a banana peel and you're like, damn it, I didn't want the banana again. I wanted the shells. I wanted the star. He doesn't give you those. Every time he's been out, he's gotten the star or the triple red shells. And the strikeouts are apparent. Possibly no Jonathan India again. I know he was scratched from the Sunday lineup with the knee soreness. Maybe he's not in the lineup. That just shrinks an already bad lineup. So, yeah, I like Robbie Ray. Chris Bubich has been awesome as a pitcher. Is he going to be able to get Heliot Ramos out? I doubt it. Nobody can get Heliot Ramos out. That guy is really good. And then, Luis Castillo has the White Sox. Luis Castillo's been another one that has been pretty inconsistent, and especially inconsistent on the road. This is something that we've talked about for how long, right? He has been
a couple years now, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just Luis Castillo, it's basically been outside of Logan Gilbert, right? Like Logan Gilbert's been good everywhere.
Brian Woo's actually kicked it this year. Brian Woo's just good.
Yeah, and Brian Woo's just good. But like Bryce Miller has been bad on the road, and even Kirby was bad on the road at times. So like I guarantee Castillo will get ownership. I'm not gonna there John, like I don't feel entirely comfortable with Luis Castillo at 9,500 because I don't like there has been essentially no strikeout appeal to Luis Castillo this year. None. There has not been one game that you can really point to and be like, yes, there it is. Like at that point, I would just rather spend up to Ray or Bubic because I know they miss bats, or I would rather go down to some names in the mid tier.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Kansas City Royals this year against left-handed pitching, again, not a team that strikes out a ton, 22%, but 237 batting average is kind of right in the middle of the ballpark. But the 075 ISO is now dead last in baseball against left-handed pitching, and their 270 WOBA is 27th in baseball. So things aren't really just working out for them. And if you're saying, well, you know what, John, maybe they're just having bad luck. They're not. They have a 299 batting average in balls in play, the 9th best mark against left-handed pitching. So they're not getting unlucky. When they put the ball in play, they're hitting around 300. They're just not putting the ball in play. They're just horrifically bad at that. So I'm with you. Going Ray obviously makes sense. Bubic has been good, 25%, 24% strikeout rate for the Giants against lefties. And we've seen the strikeout upside for him there. I just think it's going to be hard for people to get over their White Sox bias.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see ownership on Luis Castillo here at $9,500, which still may end up working out because it is the White Sox.
I know.
But there are some guys on the White Sox that are like maybe starting to like come around a little bit. Like Miguel Vargas, I think people have forgotten was like the number 30 ranked prospect in baseball at one point. In that, I think he was in that range for the Dodgers, got traded, obviously had a horrific year last year. I think he was depressed. He had 100 following the trade. He hit 100 following the trade to the White Sox from the Dodgers. He's still getting his World Series ring. So he's fine, but he went from on a World Series team to the White Sox.
Worst team ever.
Literally the worst team ever until this year when the Rockies will overtake them. But after a slow start now, he's homered in a handful of games recently, homered again today. So there might be some guys starting to come to life a little bit for the White Sox. I want to talk about Sonny
Meadroff.
Meadroff leadoff homer the other day. Guy's not supposed to have any power. They got Josh Rojas back. He's in the middle of their lineup. Not that matters, but there's guys. I'm just saying. There's guys. I want to talk about Sonny Gray here for a moment though. Because you and I were taking a look at Sonny Gray numbers. The numbers on the year haven't obviously been anything spectacular. We know Sonny Gray has been a guy with some up and down consistency problems over the years. He's kind of always been a decent strikeout guy. Even the strikeout numbers haven't really been there this year. But we took a little look at it, and it's righties that are doing a lot of damage against Sonny Gray. It's a 20% strikeout rate. It's a 2 homer per 9 against him. It's a fit near 5. And then you go look at the left-handed numbers against Sonny Gray, and they aren't touching him. It's almost a 30% strikeout rate. It's a 3x FIP. It's under 2 homers per 9. Again, he still gives up home runs. That's just Sonny Gray. But you're looking at a Detroit team that puts a whole lot of lefties in their lineup.
Yes.
Are they going to adjust that based on the numbers? You and I always talk about that. Do teams look at Fangraphs? It's not like they're going to take Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green and guys like them out of the lineup. Is McKinstry or Sweeney maybe not going to play? I don't know. But if they're going to go and give him a 6 lefty lineup here, Sonny Gray might, in his home ballpark, be able to kind of pitch around it and make it an interesting start for him. He's obviously pitched better at home this year, 3.57 ERA, 37 strikeouts in 35 innings. Again, he's going to give up home runs, and the righties are killing him. So you look at Detroit and the righties, Spencer Torkelson, Javi Baez is still hitting the baseball really well. Dingler, a guy from the right-hand side of the plate that can do some damage against them. But if we look at this lineup tomorrow from Detroit, and there's a whole lot of lefties out there, in tournaments, you might throw a dart at a $9,000 Sonny Gray.
So just looking at their Sunday lineup against Jose Barrios, they had 5 lefties and 4 righties.
Okay.
One of the lefties being Akil Baddoo. Welcome back to the program, by the way.
Akil Baddoo, hey.
1 for 3 with a walk for Akil Baddoo. But that was their lineup. I'm trying to see, because I think they also faced a righty. No, they faced Lauer on the Saturday slate. So I'm just because they hit McKinstry third. Then they faced Bowden Francis that you and I had talked about on the Friday show. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they had a 5-4 split each of the last 2 times they faced a righty. So they threw 5 lefties, 4 righties.
Sure.
Each of the last 2. Cole Keith was in the Friday lineup, was not in the Sunday lineup. Akil Baddoo was in the Sunday lineup. Cole Keith wasn't. So I guess
they
see.
Could potentially go 6.
Yeah, could get a 6 if they put Keith in the lineup and play Baddoo over, I don't know, like Javi Baez, who's playing center field, right? They could, if that's the direction they wanted to go, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Sonny Gray is a better pitcher than what he's shown. He does give up home runs, but he does miss a lot of bats. So it's obviously intriguing. I actually think he'll probably be lower owned with the pitchers above him, and then one specific pitcher below him will probably garner a ton of ownership. So I think we could see, but then again, I say that, and anytime there's a strikeout pitcher, he gets ownership. So what do I know?
And we don't need to bury the lead here. We have an $8,000 Christopher Sanchez on the road in Coors against the Colorado Rockies. And we obviously know that the Rockies at home have can be an intimidating place to pitch. But for the last couple of years, their offense really hasn't been anything overly special. This year at home against left-handed pitching, 16th in WOBA at 301. A 140 ISO is 13th. Their batting average against lefties at home this year, 17th at 233. And they have a 26.6% strikeout rate, which is 7th highest. So middle of the pack, top 10 strikeout rate against lefties this season. Because again, they're just kind of a bad team. So, sure, is there a chance that Christopher Sanchez just gets knocked around because it's Coors Field? Yes, but that's why he's priced probably where he's at today at $8,000. And I would imagine he is the highest rostered pitcher on this slate.
I agree. Only thing I'd add is I do agree like Colorado's offense has been bad. At least they've been a little better. They got Tovar back. Tovar's been awesome, or was awesome in the one game. Does strike out a lot. Jordan Beck was super awesome the other night in a game that they scored, 16 runs, 15 runs, whatever. 14 runs, I don't know, whatever it was. Hunter Goodman has been really, really good.
Hunter Goodman's been good, yeah.
So, like, Kyle Farmer, your favorite player, has also been serviceable.
Realistically, they just beat up on Zach Gallen.
You are correct.
Merrill Kelly and Corbin Burns both threw 7-inning shutouts. I'm trying to
give the other perspective because it's Coors. It's very hard to do.
Yeah. If you catch them on the wrong night, they can hang it on you, I guess.
Christopher Sanchez is a really good pitcher that should never be 8,000. We said this like what, four starts in a row. Like, why is Christopher Sanchez? He got hurt, and then he has not been priced appropriately since.
No.
In that Mets start, that's the start that he left with the forearm, right? With the the soreness, and he has not shown any signs of injury, and he has looked great since. So Christopher Sanchez.
Over the last 30 days when at home, we're really gonna cut it down here.
You're trying to give the Rockies like any grace here.
Absolutely not. Last 30 days at home against left-handed pitching, they have the 8th most plate appearances against lefties, 148 plate appearances. Okay. They have the highest strikeout rate, second highest strikeout rate at 30.4%, a 211 batting average, a 277 WOBA. So for the last month, when they're at home against lefties, they've been even worse than they've been all year. So
how?
Only the Angels are actually worse. The Angels have a 35.7% strikeout rate with a 130 average, a 120 ISO, and a 190 WOBA. So if you get any lefties versus the Angels coming up, use them. But the Rockies are right there. Rockies cannot touch a lefty over the last 30 days when they're at home. That's just a home split because we want to talk cores. So I have full confidence in our guy here in Christopher Sanchez at 8K. Again, not to discredit Bailey Ober, who we think is a good pitcher.
Yes,
we're waiting for the good pitcher to show up consistently, but we do believe in Bailey Ober. He gets Cleveland here, a team that has just kind of struggled, for the majority of this year. Pepio's at home against Houston. We've knocked Houston a lot. Jack Leiter had a no-hitter into the 7th inning today. Soriano's a big ground ball pitcher. Like, what are your thoughts, sort of, I guess, on this under 8K range?
Sorry, I was just distracted. Cody Bellinger is so back.
Did he homer? Yeah.
Grand salami.
Wow.
To cap off a perfect day at the plate. Welcome to New York, Bucko. Oh, we're going back.
I know one person that's also going to be excited about that.
We're going back to back here, Johnny. Sorry, there's nothing Rafael Devers can do about it. Yeah, I like Ober. I like Sanchez. I don't like a lot else. I don't really have much to add. I'm not playing Brandon Pfaadt, 87 against the Dodgers. Too many lefties. I don't hate Pepio, but he is incredibly inconsistent with the strikeout stuff. You never know when Pepio is going to pitch well.
Did you see how far that Grand Slam was, by the way?
The Grand Slam went 356 feet.
Yeah, that feels like a 2 of 30 park factor homer there, but it all counts.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Doesn't matter. It counts all the same. We will get confirmation on how many parks that was a homer.
5 of 30. 5 of 30.
5 of 30? Hell yeah. That's about 3 more than I thought it would be. Yeah, Landon Knack, no thanks. You'll never see a bigger Landon Knack hater than I. All he does is give up home runs. Good for him that he had 8 strikeouts against the A's. That's probably not going to be the case against the Diamondbacks and their top 3 offense in every category against righties. I mean, it's really bad, dude. It's a terrible pitching slate. I really don't have much for you here. I wish I could give you something else. Like, Davis Martin's a pretty good pitcher.
It's been okay.
He's a good pitcher. Like, I would say the White Sox pitching has probably been the biggest surprise of the year.
So surface numbers, he's been good. Can't argue it. 6K per 9.
Yeah.
Very bad. So obviously he doesn't help his peripheral stats. His 3.65 ERA, 4.26 FIP, 4.33 xFIP. So like kind of on par with like what his numbers are, but a 5.99 expected ERA to go with the 3.65 actual ERA. So 74% left on base. He's a big ground ball guy, 45% ground ball rate for him. So, Davis Martin is an unappealing, but maybe an option.
What do we think?
Are we going to do the Logan Allen thing again?
No, I was going to. The JT Ginn one was a little interesting because he looked really good, but then he had elbow inflammation, and that's always a scary one. But he went on a rehab, and
I have some bad news for you.
What happened?
We're going to be playing Logan Allen.
Oh no, Minnesota. Is it really that bad?
25.6% strikeout rate,
and they have no Buxton
and no Correa. Fifth highest. 225 batting average is 20th. Their ISO is 120, 22nd. Their 286 WOBA is 19th. So bottom third of the league and everything, top 5 strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. And that is season long where they had Buxton and Correa. And obviously those guys out of their lineup.
And Castro got hurt over the weekend. Didn't play Sunday.
Yeah.
And obviously no Keyshaw.
Yeah. They did get Royce back, who almost homered twice today. Had a homer stolen from him.
I saw the robbery, and I saw the home. Salute to Royce hitting 7th and hitting home runs.
Yeah. But overall, season-long numbers for Minnesota against lefties are not favorable. The problem is we've been fooled by Logan Allen for 3 years.
We have.
I mean, we keep trying to go. When in 2023, he was
great.
100 prospect in baseball.
And he was great.
And he was good. Last year, 5.9 expected ERA, 5.7 ERA. This year, 3.7 ERA, 4.36 expected ERA, a 5 xFIP.
What do we got for his Sierra is going to be around 5.
Dude, it's not good.
It's brutal.
It's not great. Again, the numbers for him are not good. 4.3 walks per 9 is the highest of his career. 6.7 K per 9 is the lowest of his career. None of what Logan Allen is doing is good, except for the last start, where he threw 6 shutout against Milwaukee. At $6,500 though, if we get this start, like you're okay because maybe you think he gets a win, and now you're looking at like 15 or 16 fantasy points.
13 to 4. They won 13 to 14. They had their 13-game win streak,
and he had this stretch against bad teams. Again, White Sox, Baltimore versus lefty, Pittsburgh versus lefty are 3 of the worst teams in baseball against left-handed pitching, and he did really well against them. Faced Boston, got hammered. Faced Toronto, did okay. Faced Washington, got hammered. Faced Milwaukee, did good. We've had more good starts than bad starts out of Logan Allen. The peripheral numbers just don't really back up much of what he is doing. But Minnesota's also been bad. So I'm not saying Logan Allen is a core play. Definitely not saying that at all whatsoever. But if we're talking about under Pepio, who is borderline for me, or Soriano, if you think the ground balls get going there, but don't want that ballpark, Logan Allen might be the guy.
Yeah. I'll remain the same that I've said until he adds the T back, until his middle initial is back.
Logan D. Allen, yeah.
It was T, and now he just hasn't been the same pitcher. Nathaniel,
he had a season high 11 whiffs in his last start. Maybe he fixed something. Maybe he started throwing a cutter.
He found he realized how bad the Brewers are against lefties. And it's been an ongoing thing for 2 years.
They had to drop Torrio down to 6 the other day.
He struck out 4 times.
So anyways, I'm just saying our team, we're Twins truthers here. He could be a spot for Logan Allen.
I'm fine with it and there's nothing else worth.
You had 2 starts for Dean Creamer. He went 7 innings.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's been really bad.
Yeah. Sure.
More dart throws, right?
That's a dart throw. I mean, it's a good spot for Colton Gordon too, but looked really shaky in his debut and now is pitching in a really bad ballpark. But it's a good spot.
We talk about Tampa Bay with their lefties. They take them all out of their lineup. All their best players for the most part.
It's a very good spot. But
Tampa Bay 28th in WOBA against left-handed pitching. They have an 091 ISO, which is 3rd worst, only to Baltimore and Kansas City. 203 batting average is your 3rd worst as well, to Baltimore and LA. 22% strikeout rate is a little less than middle of the pack, actually bottom half. So not a strikeout team against lefties, but they're not hitting lefties here either. So he's 6K. He's cheaper than Logan Allen. So if you want to get even dirtier with it, maybe Colton Gordon cracks a lineup for you. You mentioned Ginn with his a guy that's supposedly a ground ball pitcher, 10, 7, and 8 ground ball outs. Coming off of the elbow though, so
It's sketchy.
a little curious on that one. Did get 3 1/3 shutout. But yeah, that was his only minor league rehab.
Yeah, and coming off an elbow, like what is it? How
Yeah.
It
Angels
seems
do have the highest strikeout rate versus righties on the year, so
okay. Yeah,
there's that.
Yeah. Just let's stick with Allen.
Allen and Gordon have the better spots there. All right, that's pitching for you. Catcher. How much Phillies do we play in this slate here?
I don't love the price for Real Muto, but I understand it. He has not been great, but I understand it.
Yeah, $4,900.
I also don't think a 723 OPS for a catcher is not terrible.
I agree.
But like, you have
what is going to be weird here? Let's see. Where is rushing's 29? So they've basically been alternating games so far.
Yeah,
with Will Smith and Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, it's been strange.
Because Will Smith is an elite offensive catcher.
Yep.
And in the games that he's been up, he's sat and started. So if we get Dalton Rushing, because they're doing every other game, then $2,900 for him against Fott, who we like, but I take the pun play on Rushing there.
Oh, undoubtedly. And he's going to be super popular. The ownership has been up on Rushing every slate.
Yeah. I'm also curious as what happens because they DFA'd Chris Taylor.
Yes, they got Edmund off the IL.
I'd say Edmund's back,
and then Teoscar is reportedly close. Might be today. Might be Monday.
Right. So I don't know what they're going to do with like Hae-Sung Kim and Rushing. Like they're keeping Rushing up because they let go of Barnes. So Rushing is here.
Yeah, he's the backup catcher.
But
Kim or Conforto. Because Conforto's been kind of good, so I don't know what they're.
Kim has been awesome though.
Kim's been awesome.
Do you get rid of Rojas?
I don't think they would get. I think Rojas is like the vibes guy.
Okay.
I think
like Rojas the third base coach. You know?
I think Rojas is like the Udonis Haslam of the Dodgers. Okay. You know? Remember that Remember how like. Post that Jazz interview where he just like roasted Miguel Rojas for no reason. Yeah. All the outcry for like Miguel Rojas started to pour in. Everyone's like, "Why are you roasting this dude?" So I don't. You're right. Outman. He's
Outman for sure.
Man.
Outman's definitely gone. I just don't know how they play all these guys now.
I mean, I don't think they can.
Right.
I don't think they can because Pages is your everyday center fielder. Edmund's playing every day.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about everyone.
I mean, does Edmund play every day? Or do you start platooning him and he hits lefties and Kim plays it? I mean, that's the splits.
That's fair.
Right? So,
yeah,
I don't know. Something to watch for, obviously. That's a different position entirely, but I'm just talking about the fact that they're doing the alternating game so far with Will Smith and Dalton Rushing. So, there is that. If you're not playing Sanchez and want to go Goodman, you can. Obviously, Goodman's a really good man.
Nice.
We got Contreras as cheap as he's been in a long time.
Yep.
Adley obviously hasn't been great. A Hoppy, like where are we going? Catch Caro 35? Like what are we doing here?
Probably nothing even remotely close to anything you said.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I like Langoliers, another guy whose price is down, and he has a very good home ballpark to hit in. I don't hate Jeffers. I don't hate Cuero. I like Gabe Moreno. Gabe Moreno looks really good at the dish.
Ivan Herrera, dude. Ivan Herrera is hitting 430 with a 1348 OPS.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Still.
Yeah, Keider Montero. I actually pulled that up because I was thinking about this earlier. He had massive splits last year. Lefties are, oh my God, he's getting crushed by lefties. Last year, righties, everyone crushed him last year, actually. lefty. So that's something to monitor as we talk about the rest of the Cardinals. But yeah, I mean, Herrera is just, if you want to play him because he's so good, you can do that. Moreno, 32 looks great because he is really good. Rushing, as you mentioned. I think Caratini is an interesting value in the small ballpark. We've talked about Pepio is very up and down. Like he's a good pitcher, but like at times he doesn't miss bats. Lefties this year against Ryan Pepio, 211 ISO, 193 expected ISO, 92 mile per hour exit velocity, 320 expected WOBA. Also, righties are crushing him too, so this is not an easy spot for him. I don't mind the 2,800 Caratini punt as well. And then your boy Fermin, punt like Huff. Danny Jansen's 2,500. He's kind of shown a pulse lately. Another like righty in that ballpark. So
okay.
Christian Vasquez, if you're straight up punting, he's actually you gave him the shout the other day that he's been good. He's legitimately been pretty good lately.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're not using Allen, I mean, I don't mind it as a punt play. Darno homer today. I don't know if that gets anything juicing, but
he did.
You know, there's that. First base. Again, you have your Dodgers, can always play them. As much as we like Font, he has had some problems. You have Harper at 61. Obviously, up there, we mentioned Sonny Gray and his issues against righties. You have Torkelson there, Naylor. Wilmer Flores hit 3 homers over the weekend in a single game. What are your thoughts of this top tier?
Is Wilmer Flores going to be an all-star?
Probably. He's like the league leader in RBIs.
He has 42 RBIs, dude. He has 42 RBIs. I mean, the Dodgers obviously look great. They're incredibly expensive. Bryce Harper, lefty, obviously looks great. He'll probably be the most popular of the 6K range. So you could play any of them. I like Torque. You had talked about the splits, and Torque's hitting everything again. Josh Naylor, big home run spot against Landon Knack. Bunch of fly balls, bunch of home runs allowed. Wilmer in tournaments. Yandy in tournaments. Manzardo in tournaments. Pavin.
Yeah, Manzardo's got the power versus Ober there.
Pavin. This might be a home run for Pavin at $4,000. It's a very, very nice position, 4K and up.
Sure. I mentioned Miguel Vargas, 316,000 OPS, 4 homers in his last 10. 3 homers in the last 3 games there. So again, if you're anti Luis Castillo,
yeah,
you know, on the road, Vargas would certainly be a guy that I would target in that spot. Ty France is going to hit in the middle of the Twins lineup to show you how poor they are, how bad they are right now. Let's see.
Walker. I mean, Christian Walker's been bad.
At some point, maybe he'll wake up, but he has been pretty poor.
Dude, Ryan Pepio against righties this year. 245 ISO, 386 WOBA allowed. Sure. 18% strikeout rate. Not missing bats against righties. And you need to miss bats in that ballpark.
Rowdy, 29 against Martin.
Yep. Rowdy, only thing he is possibly going to do is hit a home run.
940 OPS and a 190 batting average the last 10.
He has 5 hits, all 5 extra bases, 4 home runs. I mean, he hits in the middle of the order. they're hitting him smack dab in the middle of the order. All he's doing is hitting home runs.
That's probably it for me. Anything for you?
No.
Okay. Second base position, Ketel Marte is really good. He's $5,600.
He's really good, dude. That dude is so good. He's hitting righties this year, by the way.
Yeah, hitting everything. $5,600. Stott's lefty. I wonder if we get Edmundo Sosa, who's $4,400 instead. I would place him Edmundo.
They don't play him anymore.
I know. They platoon him around. They've given him some outfield opportunities. Hasn't been in the lineup in a couple of days, but he's supposed to be in the lineup versus lefties. So
yeah,
we'll see what they do. $4,400 for him. Donovan, you mentioned Kiter versus lefties. Brendan Donovan,
yep.
$4,500 for him there. Terang's $46 against Dean Creamer.
Altuve is $4,000, huh?
Who? Altuve, yeah.
Holy smokes!
I mean,
I know.
You mentioned Kyle Farmer is 35.
Jackson Holiday.
Oh yeah, dude, best leadoff hitter in baseball, Jackson Holiday. $3,400. That'd be against Quinn Priester. That feels like an easy click.
Matt Holliday's son looks pretty good on this slate.
Dude, Ethan Holiday is going to be the number 1 overall pick.
I saw. So, genetics are so sick.
Dude, Jackson Holiday has said Ethan Holiday is better than him. And Ethan Holiday is 18 years old. He's 6'4", 225. So
good brother.
Yeah. A lot of upside there. Younger brother, but bigger brother is Ethan Holiday there. Again, if Kim is in the lineup, which I think maybe he'll be with a righty on the mound because they faced another lefty today, so he wasn't in against Kikuchi, but I get he's hitting 9th, but all that means is he has Ohtani and Mookie Betts behind him. So
does not matter.
No, he's going to get on base, and then those guys are going to drive him in, or he's going to steal a bag. So,
yep.
$3,100
or both.
Yeah, $3,100 for Kim. I like. Anything else for you?
Luis Urias has been really good it's a really good ballpark. That's it.
Yeah, that's again. Rojas is back, 24. They actually hit him like 4th or 5th. I want to say.
Oh my god. Josh. Oh, thank God they didn't hit Miguel Rojas 4th.
No, Josh Rojas. Yeah. Remember the run? Remember like the 2 weeks in Seattle last year for Josh Rojas, where he was like the hottest hitter in baseball.
Yep.
All right. Third base. Jose Ramirez is 57. You got Chapman, Michael Garcia, Eugenio Suarez. A lot of power, $4,400.
This is the best Eugenio Suarez spot ever. Landon Ack, all he does is give up home runs.
Yeah. I like it. We know the Dodgers ballpark gives us some home runs, so.
That ballpark gives so many home runs, dude.
Your boy Yohan Moncada.
My boy. He's been good, dude. You can't hate him.
You get a little Moncada Lugo stack going, and like
That's where we're at the point of the Angel season. We're hoping for Yohan Moncada and Matthew Lugo, and we're in
2 guys with 40% strikeout rates. But you know what?
We're in May, John, and that's what the Angels are.
Yeah, well, guess what? Mike Trout's hurt again. So, did you see the report that they turned down a deal from the Padres that included Jackson Merrill for Shohei Ohtani? They instead decided to go all in and trade for checks notes Lucas Giolito and CJ Crone, was it? Like what did they do on that team?
Yeah, it was CJ Crone. I think it was CJ Crone.
Or Grichuk. They traded for Grichuk or something like that. Like,
and then they released them all.
Because like this is a terrible idea. I made a terrible mistake.
They were offered Jackson Merrill.
A report came out this weekend that the Padres offered them a package that was including Jackson Merrill for Shohei Ohtani, and they turned it down.
Boy, if you just think about that trade in general, how the landscape would have shifted. Because Shohei would be a Padre.
For at least that year, right? He still would have hit free agency, and the Dodgers still would have gave him the $600 million over 50-year deal. But maybe they win in San Diego that year, and he wants to stay or something, right? And
it makes you wonder, like, if there is, like, yeah, dude, wow.
The Angels would have had Jackson, and that was just the name Jackson. Like, who knows what other Padres or prospects could have been intertwined in a deal like that? So, because it's Ohtani we're talking about,
right? This is not just one for one. Yeah, it's not a Merrill one for right.
Yeah. So, anyways, just the Angels continuing to blunder. Who knows again how true that report was, but it was out there this weekend.
Criminal, absolutely criminal.
Back to third base. Yandy's good, $4,300 for him. I mentioned Royce Lewis, homered, could be another homer spot for again against Logan Allen. Alec Bohm starting to come around a little bit. He's $4K. That's a good price tag.
Ooh, he's cheap. Yeah, he's gonna be really popular on this slate.
Yeah. And then Paredes has been really good.
Yep.
If you want to go there.
It's a great ballpark. Dude, righties. Ryan Pepio, 235, or I'm looking at Landon Knack now. Landon Knack stinks. But a really good spot for Diamondbacks. Pepio over a 200 ISO. I'm not going to go back to look, but over a 200 ISO to righties. And the shift happened for Paredes when they moved him to third. They hit him to the they had moved down the order. He shifted to third in the order, and he looks good.
I agree. Max Muncy can see the ball. He's $3,500.
Just missed a home run on Sunday. Went just foul. Would have had another one.
Now that he's got his glasses, his corrective lenses, not wearing them in that photo, but
they need to get him updated on the photo because
need the corrected lenses because now he can see the ball.
Yes.
You mentioned Nolan, the lefties against Montero. Nolan Gorman's $3,400. So if he's in the lineup, there's some power there, obviously. Ben Williamson's, again, someone you could potentially look at. He's really cooled off, but he's cheap if you think Seattle gets it going against Davis Martin. Anything else for you here?
Let's go to shortstop.
Shortstop, up at the top. Bobby Witt, Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Zach Nato, a $4,700 Gunnar Henderson.
Against Quinn Priester.
Gunnar homered today. This offense has been bad. This team has been bad. They fired their manager. Their pitchers are giving up batting practice. Zach Eflin, Kyle Gibson, they're just
Gibson no longer a member of the team.
Yeah, I got a few social media likes on the Kyle Gibson DFA post that said he was the human embodiment of in-play runs.
No.
Got a couple of likes on the social media for that.
No.
Dude, Gunner's gonna be very difficult not to play at 40. I get it. Trey Turner in cores against Kyle Freeland, chalky for sure. But Gunner at that price, the talent at some point overrides the struggles of the team. So, and we're talking Quinn Priester here.
The price is as good as we're gonna see all year. Right? I mean, this is not going to get better for.
I mean, it's been dropping. Maybe it drops again, like a little bit. Maybe we get a 4,500. He was like $3,000 on FanDuel today or something like that. Like way cheap.
So lefties against Quinn Priester this year.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
He has a 7% swinging strike rate. For all those that want to know, that is terrible. It's really bad.
Very bad.
14% strikeout rate, doesn't get strikeouts. On top of that, he's a 273 BABIP, so like pretty lucky on his side. 246 ISO, 398 WOBA allowed to lefties this year.
509 slug.
It's really bad. It's really
1.8 homers per 9.
Yeah, for a guy who gets a lot of ground balls, he's gonna struggle with lefties here.
So I'm not really looking to like stack Baltimore, but I would play a $4,700
Gunner and Holiday. You can play them both.
Yeah. And just Gunner Holiday 1-2. Yeah, the 1-2 in that lineup. I like that. You got Perdomo, Nato, not to ignore him. Obviously, super talented.
Play any of those dudes.
Dude, power, speed.
Yeah, he's great.
7 homers, 7 stolen bases in 27 games.
He's a freak, dude. He's really good at baseball.
Jacob Wilson still hitting awesome.
Yep.
Sold another bag. Up to 3 now.
Yo, you said that all these things Jacob Wilson couldn't do, and he's saying, yo, who says I can't do this?
You know where he's playing for the next week?
Yeah, in a park where he
homers. The park where he homers. So, you might get a sneaky homer out of this one there. So obviously I've been standing on Jacob Wilson since the beginning. So Mason win at $3,800.
Yep.
I don't mind.
Yep. I think this is a good range. Wilson, we didn't mention Perdomo, 2023 All-Star, going to be 2025 All-Star too, but he has been freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, he is on base all the time.
He got 5 homers and 11 steals.
Dude, he is on base. Dude, he is.
No one's talking about him.
We're talking about him.
Well, we talk about him.
2023, soon to be 2025 All-Star.
But when they have Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll, like those guys get the shine. Like they hit this dude 9th the other day. Like
he's literally gonna make the All-Star game.
Yeah. I know.
He's gonna be an All-Star. There's nothing anyone can do about it.
They gave him the money. They gave him the money.
Makes
you wonder, like, what are they doing? Are they showcasing Jordan Lawler and he just sucks? So, like, God damn it, we can't even trade this guy. He's not performing.
I don't think he sucks. But he is not doing anything.
He's had limited MLB at bats, and they've never been good. So
it's correct. They went not only were they not. He went a full year. Like I know there was like an injury last year, but there was like 2023 stunk injury, not doing great again. So I don't know.
JB Crawford, the guy that you always just give a shout out to.
He's always leading off and like he'll eventually by the end of the year he'll be hitting 9th. But like middle of the year while he's doing well and leading off, I like it. Jeremy Pena as well, by the way, 4,100. He's hitting.
He's well the only Astro that's been good.
Him and Paredes?
Yeah, Paredes. Yeah. I mean, listen, Tovar's $3,100.
I was gonna say it. He just has he is off to a bad start, like the rest of his team. He's obviously
we've said this before, right? Like all of his numbers are really against Zach Gallen. 5 of 5.
All his numbers against Zach Gallen. Yep.
You know, his only home run. So you see you see him go 5 or 6. His batting average of the year is still only 260. So
I know, but he's like not a bad player.
Yeah. No, he's not. He just strikes out a lot.
He strikes out a ton.
So that's like the downside for him there.
He hit 26 home runs. He hit 26 home runs last year for the record.
Yeah, like 20 stolen bags, right? Too. Like he was just.
No, he only had 6.
Oh, I thought he was a bit more of a stolen guy. So all right. Said Brooks Lee's 3K. I don't really have anything else.
Don't need to.
All right, outfield. Talk outfield. I gotta let this cat.
Your cat is just yelling at you, dude. So we talked to Ohtani. Ohtani looks great. You can always play Schwarber lefty. Kyle Schwarber 2nd in home runs this year. You can play Schwarber. Corbin Carroll is just even on games where he's 1 for 5. He steals 2 bags and he gets you 20 fantasy points.
Yeah,
play him. Castellanos, obviously too expensive for like regular Nick Castellanos, but
Castellanos versus a lefty.
Yeah, he gets a lefty in course. Like it's story writes itself. If Teoscar comes back, I wouldn't be terribly afraid to play him. Could play Nootbaar.
Yeah, dude, lefties with Nootbaar there. I mean, 5K.
Yeah, it's in like with the other game environments is obviously tough to get to.
Let's see. Moore's 48. I mean, your Seattle guys are all mid-tier. Lewis Robert, can always give him a shout. Castillo on the road has struggled.
Yep.
Some power. Obviously, he's like among the league leaders in stolen bases.
Yep. Rosarena homered on Sunday.
Yeah.
He's been good.
Paez is 44. Dude, Yelich is all the way down here now. This is so bad. Just a bad team. This is a bad team. Dean Kramer, not great either, though, but.
No, just, dude, Heliot at 41 just feels.
Would you play a Rojas?
No.
Okay. He's going to be in for like Kepler or Marsh or something like that. He's going to play this game.
I know, but we're paying $4,300 for a guaranteed pinch hit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Play
dude, if the righty numbers against Sonny Gray are right, Javi Baez.
I know he might. I'm not objecting here.
Might be a spot.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not objecting.
You mentioned Ramos though. Obviously, Bubic has been really good, but Ramos has been hot. So
yeah, lefty killer.
Can't really ignore that. Victor Scott, some power, more speed than power, but a little pop. It's Kiter.
If they play the Towinator, I would play the Towinator.
Okay.
Well, dude, little guy, big power.
Sure. 5 homers, 4 stolen bases. Weston Wilson activated off the IL. Is he on the team? He is. Yeah. You might get Weston Wilson in the lineup. I mean, you might just get some Weston Wilson. How much Philly are you willing to go against Kyle Freeland in course?
I mean, Kyle Freeland had actually not been pitching poorly, and this is the if you remember, this was the Josh Young.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. Okay. I would play a lot. I would play a bunch of Philly. The problem is like they are
You know what made no sense to me, not to cut you off? You know what offseason move for them made absolutely no sense?
Max Kepler?
Max Kepler. You already have Brandon Marsh.
They should have re-signed Austin Hayes.
Why could you have not just brought a right-handed outfielder to your team?
They had one, Austin Hayes. They traded for him last year. They traded like prospects.
There had to have been a right-handed outfielder. It wouldn't shock me if they went and like traded for one at like the deadline. Like Hunter Renfroe becomes available when Jack gets called up, or something like that. And
that was a good effort. That was a good effort, by the way.
Yeah, I do my best. I wasn't gonna try it.
You weren't even not even gonna try it.
Caglione.
Yeah. You had it.
I read it, and all I could think of was Joe Castiglione, who's the Red Sox play-by-play. I was like, it's not Castiglione. I know that for sure. Caglione. There it is.
Yeah, close. It's close. Honestly, yeah.
Caglione.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you were there. Like, you just don't.
I couldn't get the Red Sox play-by-play guy out of my brain to say the word correctly. So, Jack Caglione.
There you go.
There we go. When he gets called up, maybe Hunter Renfroe gets sent by the wayside, and you see him.
He's cooked. Hunter Renfroe is so
you
cooked.
See that, or Mark Canna, something like that goes.
Yeah.
And then they find their way to Philly there.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else for value that you'd play?
Alec Thomas homered the other day.
Sure.
That's a potential. Zenzo is the Zenz no. Cam Smith 3K. I saw who did they start? They have someone playing the outfield in their minor league system. I forget who, but they were talking about who was it? Someone, because they also have Shea Whitcomb moving around. Shea Whitcomb, I think, was playing outfield for them.
Yeah.
And they were speculating that it might be Cam Smith, even though Cam Smith's swinging a little bit of a hotter bat lately. It's Cam Smith 3K. They don't move his price, but he's swinging a little bit of a hot bat.
Okay. Anything else?
No. Matthew Lugo. Shout out.
What's up, Matthew Lugo? Power. All right. Let's see. We're doing Sanchez. And then
Darian Blanco is back.
Yeah, he doubled today.
And stole a base.
Yeah, well, that's what he's supposed to do. The double was surprising.
2,200 Darian Blanco. Shout out.
Are we doing like Robbie Ray Sanchez, or what's like what's the move here?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really ask you. What was your opinion on Luis Castillo?
On the what?
On Luis Castillo.
I think he'll be chalky, and I kind of don't want to pitch it.
Because he doesn't strike anyone out, right? Like he's
not good. He is just not good on the road. It's just he hasn't been good on the road for a while. I get it. You'll throw this start in my face. That's fine. He just really hasn't been good on the road.
Throw that start. Yeah, throw that start in your face. He had 2 strikeouts and 12 fantasy points.
So. Yeah, 12 fantasy points. He didn't get a win. He gets a win. He has 14. Woo.
At 95, dude, you're cooked. You are cooked.
I mean, obviously that's the Rangers. This is the White Sox. There's a higher upside against the White Sox. I understand all of it. I don't really want to pitch it. I'd rather Ray or Bubic, or we just throw some darts. Throw some darts down below. And see if we can hit with like a Logan Allen or something.
Yeah.
So, that's where I think I'd rather go.
Okay.
I mean, if we do this and we just assume they go to rushing here.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that.
And go to Jackson Holiday.
Bohm at third at 4K. That was probably the best Philly value on the board.
Yeah. Bohm's 4K. We said Gunnar was too cheap.
Gunnar is definitely too cheap.
42.
I also like Trey Turner quite a bit. Just in that.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we have to figure it out. So we have Bohm. Like where else do we go? I don't think Sosa has outfield eligibility.
He has second and third.
And he's 4,400 anyway. So
I mean, I think Bryce. I'm not like ever terrified of Bryce lefty. But I'm also, and the same thing goes for Schwarber. If you prefer one or the other, like we can play.
Bryce is cheaper. I guess that's if that, easier to spend down in the outfield. 3,600 for 3 outfielders. Like you can do Alec Burleson, who's been homer today. Get the Kiter lefty matchup there.
Lourdes. Lourdes has been good against everybody, or Alec Thomas against the.
Where's
30, 35.
No, where's your boy? Where's
Ramos?
You got Ramos at 41.
It's just a one-off.
Yeah, this is a one-off. Bubic has kind of been.
He's good. No, Bubic. No, dude, Bubic has been great. We don't have to play him.
You said Lourdes. Yeah, that's fine. That's a 4,100. That actually gives us right there. We could go Ahern. They'll throw Ahern in that lineup again.
We go 3. Well, Ahern's price has dropped, huh? Yeah, I mean he's still hitting.
3 2-hit games in the last 4.
He's a good player. He's just a good baseball player.
And Quinn Priester's been really bad versus lefties, as we said. So Sanchez and Ray, a double spend, sort of.
We have 2 Phillies. Dude.
I know, but all the Phillies are lefties, and you don't want to play the cheap outfielders. So
I mean, do you like who would you play?
Well, I said if Weston Wilson's in the lineup, you could play Weston Wilson.
Do you want to just play him over Lourdes then? So we get
not really. I kind of want to play Lourdes.
Isn't Lourdes just better?
Lourdes is a better play. I think the lineup we have is fine.
Okay.
Let us play Phillies on Tuesday when they have Antonio Senzatella. And then we get all the lefty bats we want, and we can be merry. Or we just I don't know, we can figure out Gunnar. We don't have to do Gunnar if you like Trey Turner better. I mean,
no, we could just stay on Gunnar. He's too cheap, dude. It's so cheap.
I don't disagree. Sanchez, Ray, Rushing, Harper, Holiday, Bohm, Henderson, Burleson, Gurriel, and O'Hearn. We'll be live again at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have some official lineups out for everybody. Hopefully, maybe we'll have Phillies lineup out by then. And we can break it all down for you guys. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you later.